Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I went to one of my favorite stores that sells a lot of blind boxes, but they also have really cute stationery. They have a pretty small selection of stationery, and today I was actually going to find stickers because I've been trying to stick to journaling this year. I have journaled in the past, and I have had sketchbooks and stuff, and I started using a sketchbook again recently where I was trying to be really free with it and just like draw and not take myself too seriously, and I've done a lot of cat drawings, drawings of my cats in it. This is my sketchbook. It's also a little bit of a junk journal. I had some like things that I saved when I went to Asia in the fall. I went to South Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand, and Cambodia. And so I acquired like lots of little pieces of paper and things, and so I had been holding on to them and I didn't really know what to do with them, so I ended up like kind of starting a little junk journal in my sketchbook. This is also like my knitting notebook too, so like there are some patterns that I started in here too. There's like this whole page of sock drawings. Uh-oh, I was like gluing stuff yesterday into this, and it looks like the pages actually ended up sticking together. Yeah. Here's a page. I haven't trimmed it yet. It doesn't look great. Here's a drawing I did of my cat, and then on this side I did I haven't trimmed this pink off, but I did a little junk journaling. I have a little Labubu card thing. This was also from a blind box. This is a little tag from a Miffy keychain that my brother got me when he was in Amsterdam. This is actually like a jelly thing that you put over your Nintendo Switch buttons, but it didn't stick. It didn't stay on my buttons, so I just stuck it in my journal. I also like the idea of junk journaling over drawings that I don't like that much. It makes it feel less precious. Like I can draw something ugly or draw something that I don't think looks good and just cover it up if I don't like it. It's not that serious. There's some pages of my cat. Some more cat, and there's a hat that I was working on that has the needles at the top of it. Thought I had another, oh yeah, and then I have like this page, and there's like a knitting chart right here that I wanted to save, so I just kind of worked around the knitting chart. But a lot of this junk is like from blind boxes. I also have like a transit pass from Seoul in Korea. It's kind of fun. It's like fun to look through these things, and I like it when you put a lot of stuff in a sketchbook and it gets real chunky. Then I also have another journal. I guess this is my journaling ecosystem, but I only have 3 things related to journaling that I use really. This is my planner, and I put these like silly bubbles on it. It's a Cleed diary. I guess that's the brand. Yeah, the brand is Cleed. I got it from a bookstore. I was looking for a Hobonichi and they didn't have any. It said they had them online, and the guy at the store was basically like, maybe someone stole it because we don't have any. And this was similar, and it was a little bit bigger than the Weeks from Hobonichi, so I just went with this. And it doesn't have daily pages or weekly pages. It just has these calendar pages.
Tomorrow.
My camera died, so I'm back to continue talking about my journaling ecosystem, as it's called. It's not very complex. I don't really actually journal that much. I just like jot down a few notes about my day usually. And what I have been doing, which seems to be working so far, but it is only like week 3 of January. What I've been doing so far is I use the calendar pages to just like jot down everyday things, as, you know, just like, you know, vet appointment, birthday party, stuff like that. And then this notebook is actually just blank grid pages. It doesn't have any weekly calendars in it, so I've been making my own, and I just made one for the last week of January. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's hard to see, but so I just did this, since it's a grid, I just drew in a box of 7 days on one side, and then I'm using the other side for like other things. So I do kind of like doing the tracker thing, and I made like a habit tracker. So I have like 15 random, kind of random, kind of not random things, like my AM skincare, PM skincare, like did I go outside, did I spend any money, and I don't really think of it too much like data collection because I kind of know all of these things, obviously, but it is fun to like fill out the boxes and see like, actually I'm doing dry January, so it's a good way to see that I have not had any alcohol this month. Not that I really drink very often, but I was worried that since I don't drink very often, I would like forget that I was doing dry January. But I went to a birthday party the other night and I was dry, which was like the one event where I was like, I might want to like have fun with my friends and have some soju or something, but I did not. I didn't even have any water because the bar was so crowded. I literally had nothing. I am having fun just like filling in the boxes every day. And actually, it did feel really good to fill in some boxes that I hadn't filled in at all. Like, I used to be really into running, and I haven't run at all this year. So I finally ran the other day, and I was like hyped that I got to check that little box. I'm also tracking my spending for this month, which is interesting to see. Like, obviously I spend more money on the weekends, and some days during the week I don't spend any money, which is awesome. I probably won't do that for every month. I was thinking of tracking maybe what I eat for February, because I'm like a hyperfixator on certain meals. Right now my hyperfixation meal for breakfast and like I guess lunch on the weekends is rice, beans, and soft-boiled eggs. And my boyfriend is definitely like the cook in the relationship, so, and I have no problem eating like the same meal until I get sick of it. So that's what I'm eating right now, a lot. And then in the back of my journal, I have like some of my knitting goals. I have like all these pictures of my stash yarn, and I'm trying to write like the yardage and what projects I want to use them for. And then I have other goals, like I want to read 12 books. I want to knit at least 3 sweaters this year, among other things, but I think 3 sweaters would be amazing because it's really hard for me to finish a sweater. I think like I'm really into knitting. Gotta check the time. I'm really into the project, and then like I'll cast something else on, and then I'll never want to pick up that sweater again. Like the striped cardigan that I showed like a couple of videos ago, I was so into that project, and I've got the whole front and back and the placket done. I haven't done the neck. Oh wait, maybe I did do the neck. I think I did the neck too. I literally just have the sleeves left, and I was like halfway through a sleeve, and then the holidays happened, and I started knitting Sophie scarves and Sophie hood and all these like quick scarf projects. And then I moved on to my winter's pullover, which I've made good progress on. I'm going to show you in a second. And now I just don't want to knit it. But I really want to wear it. If it was done, I would be so excited to wear it and like pick the buttons. And I had this whole plan for the buttons because I made many buttonholes with that one. I think I made like 14 buttonholes. And I was going to do like either mismatched colors or like just a bunch of bright colors. But now I'm doing my winter's pullover, and I haven't picked that one up. So I want to try to knit 3 full sweaters. Not 3 sweaters that don't have their sleeves. I also have a couple places that I like to travel this year. I would like to get a new tattoo this year because I haven't gotten a tattoo in many years. And then I'm trying to upload more to YouTube. That is also one of my goals that is written in this journal. And I would like to make some prints this year. I have the supplies to make like a stamp print with this. What is this? I don't know exactly what this material is. Sorry for the light right now. it's kind of like an eraser. It's like rubber, maybe? I don't know. And I have these speedball tools, which I think are good beginner tools, but I'm not a printmaker. But I would like to try to do some prints because my boyfriend is a printmaker, and every time he's like in the zone making prints, it makes me want to join, or at least just try, because it looks like fun. And then I also have a list in the back of the journal where I'm writing all the clothing and accessories that I purchased for myself this year. And so far I've only purchased 3 pieces of clothing this year, and I did purchase them all in the same order from ThreadUp. So I'm also trying to only buy secondhand clothes and accessories this year, which I think will be easy for me. I mentioned that in my last video. I absolutely love to buy things secondhand. I think because it's kind of like a treasure hunt and you get a good value and it's better for the environment, but it is fun to like hunt for treasure. That is my planner, I guess. And then I have my sketchbook, which I showed. So I have these 2. And then I have this funny little thing, which I like, before I had a purpose for this, I thought it was kind of a silly thing to buy because it's just a book with folders in it. It's just like, they're just folders. But since I'm doing a little bit of junk journaling, I got one of these to store my junk. So I have like random things. I have like Monchichi Hipper wrapper box, I guess. Some Sunny Angel cards. I have some cute wrapping paper from the holidays. Some lottery tickets that were not winners. Some stickers, some garbage pail kids. Just like things that I think that I didn't want to throw away and I think I could like collage with at some point. Some brown paper. So this is actually really handy because I was keeping it all in my sketchbook, and then I would have to like take it out every time I wanted to use the sketchbook. So I really like this little pocket book. I think this is by, yeah, this brand is Travelers. They make notebooks, and I got this from Mido. I got this, I said, from a bookstore, and this is called this is by Art Creation. It's basically just like a cheaper version of a Moleskine or a Liturum. I forget how you say that brand, but it's just a sketchbook with thick paper. That's my journaling ecosystem. Oh yeah, I want to show you my pullover. So I'm getting so close to being able to join the front and the back. So close, but not there yet. It's taking so long. I am making a bigger size because I want it to be oversized. That's the front. There's the back. So I have maybe 2 more inches, and then I can join the underarms. I'm so excited to join. I think my goal will be to do it today. After I knit a little bit of the body, I might move on to the neck because I really want to make sure the neck is like the Baba sweater. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Later.
Today I took Egbert to the vet and learned that he is almost 8 pounds, which is crazy. I thought maybe he was 5. So obviously I have no idea how much a cat weighs because I thought he was much lighter. But he's a big boy, which means he's almost ready to be neutered. Today I am trying to do a drawing to make it into a lino print. And I did one the other day. I'm not very good at it. It's my first one ever, and I only have speedball tools. I have this like interchangeable head tool, and it kind of comes apart really easily while I'm using it, so I don't know that it's the best tool to use. My boyfriend has some like sharper, more official tools that he's gonna let me use in a few days when he goes to get them. This is what I did. I haven't printed it yet, so I don't know how it's gonna look, but this is an illustration of my cat, Lars, in his cat bed. And I was trying to do another drawing, but I'm having trouble. I think I might start over because I have a piece of tracing paper over my sketchbook, and I'm trying to trace over my drawing and recolor it the hat on the needles. I'm trying to draw it so it's more like how the print would look. So I'm trying to color in where all the ink would be, and I'm having trouble like figuring out how I want to show the knit stitches, and I'm also having trouble with how I want to render the balls of yarn. So I really like the way this one looks. Oh, and then I colored this one in a little bit. I don't like that, so I think I'm going to start over because I've already erased a lot on this and it's getting a little messy. I'm also trying to decide like what parts of this are going to be the ink. So I think it's going to have to be a white hat, so like the negative space be white on the paper, in theory, whatever paper I put it on. So I think like the hat will be negative and then the shadows will be ink. And I want to draw stitches, which would also be in ink, and I think the needles will be in ink too. So I gotta use my brain in a different way to figure out how to make this into a print. And I just have a little bit of linoleum left. I have the rest of this one, and then I have one more of these. It's like a big eraser. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I have made progress on my winter's pullover, just a little bit of progress. I was able to join the front and the back. It's quite big, which is exactly what I want. But now that I've joined the front and the back, it does take me about double the amount of time, obviously, to knit a row. Probably takes me like 7 minutes to knit one of these rows. See how big it is? And I think I'll knit a couple inches, because I've only done about a half an inch, before I maybe switch over to doing the neck. Also, look at these armholes. I hope I have enough yarn. I only have 7 balls of this yarn, and they're 250 yards each. That would be ridiculous if I needed more, but I also wouldn't be surprised if I eventually have to go and buy more yarn to finish this huge sweater. I'm so excited to have like a huge neutral sweater, because that's definitely what I reach for when I'm shopping. If I see a giant, if I see an oversized neutral sweater, I'm drawn to it. So it'll be fun to finally make something that I think I'll want to wear like almost every day. I've definitely gotten out of the like knit the smallest size to knit it faster headspace. Like if I were to go to a store and buy my size, it would be like size small. Like the size that society says I am would be like a size small. But I really like more like oversized or just like loose fitting clothes most of the time. So when I was a beginner knitter, I would often just either buy a kit or buy enough yarn to make the size small pattern. Also because it costs less money to buy less yarn. But now it's like I don't wear a lot of the sweaters that I've made, unfortunately. I wear maybe 4 of them. In the future, now and in the future, I'm thinking more realistically with my knitting projects, like checking the measurements against clothes that I wear often, and like not knitting things that are going to be too small for my actual style. Because I think that's what often happens. It's like you knit it too small to use less yarn, and then you don't wear it because it's not actually your style to wear like something really tiny. Unless, I mean, there are some exceptions. I have like some smaller cardigans that I wear all the time, but I'm gonna try to be like a little bit more realistic with the things that I knit and the sizes that I knit them in, because I love a big cozy oversized sweater. Oh, another thing I want to make, I don't know if it's going to be in this video because I have to get some supplies, but I want to make stitch markers. And I saw this kind of stitch marker, I don't know what it's, I forget what it's called, I'm sorry, but it's like a row counter stitch marker. And the one that I saw was just beads of numbers 1 through 0, 0 being 10. So 1 through 9 plus 0 to represent 10. And it also had like this little marker you could move, but they're like strung up with jump rings in between the numbers, and you're supposed to like change it on every row to like keep track of your rows. And I've wanted to buy one for a couple years. The only place I've actually seen them is Monarch Knitting in Monterey, California. I had some jump rings and I have these cute scissor shaped charms that I had purchased from Scrap, which is a reuse store that people donate to. They're little scissors, and I was thinking of using these to make stitch markers anyway, but I think I'm gonna try to make the row counter stitch marker first and maybe put these on there too. I got a bag of number beads, but the jump rings that I had, they're not gonna work because I opened them up and then they wouldn't close again. So I think I'm gonna have to go get actual jump rings. These ones were kind of different, but I really want to make some of those because my technique for keeping track of my rows is to stop after a repeat. So for example, if I'm knitting something with a 6th row repeat, I will only put my project down if I have completed the 6th row because otherwise I won't remember what row I'm on, and I'll just know like, okay, I put this down, so it must be row number 1 in the repeat next. I'll probably still do that, but if I had this, at least I would feel less pressure to like stop knitting early. Like if I'm on the bus, I always stop at the repeat rather than like knitting until the absolute last second I'm on the bus, because I don't want to get stuck in the middle of the repeat and forget. So just making a little tool to help myself remember what row I'm on. And maybe I'll make one for my friend too, who is a new knitter. Oh, I did order something on eBay. It was nothing that I mentioned in the last video about my eBay shopping. I should just wait to tell you until it arrives, but I'll just share right now. My mom is into sewing, and she really wanted the Toyo steel toolbox, the big one, for Christmas, and she just tells me what she wants for Christmas. She says like, no pressure, you don't have to buy it, but she wanted it to put her sewing supplies in. So I bought her that for Christmas. The large toolboxes are kind of expensive, and I've always wanted one for myself too. I used to want one for my knitting supplies, but now I kind of want one for like all my stationery stuff and like other craft things, because all my yarn stuff is kind of organized in storage boxes, but I could use it for both, whatever. I really wanted one, but I never bought one because they're kind of expensive. And then she wanted one, and since it was Christmas, I decided, okay, she deserves it. So I bought her one. Recently I was thinking still like, oh, I really want one. Maybe I could find it cheaper somewhere. Can't find it cheaper anywhere. It's like, it's made in Japan, so like even if I find it cheaper, like on eBay I found one that was like $100. It was like 40 bucks to ship it, which is like almost the cost of just buying it at a store in the US. And so then I was like brainstorming like, what other kind of box could I use? Like I could just use a regular toolbox, but like that's not as cute. And so then I started searching on eBay for vintage tackle boxes, and I found one. It's nothing like that Toyo toolbox, but I think it'll work. And I used part of my gift card for it. I got it for $30, including shipping. It's just an old metal box with a little, I think it was 2 little tiered shelves, and it's like 18 inches wide, so, or 18 inches long. So I'll have plenty of room for all my things, and I will show you when it arrives. They already shipped it. I ordered it yesterday. I'm so excited for my metal box. I don't want to spend too much time working on this drawing because I don't want to waste too much of my free time today. I want to do so many things. It sucks having so many hobbies because I don't know which one to do first. I want to knit. I want to do a little printmaking. It was so fun to carve this print. Like, it was really tiny, and I keep thinking to myself, you should do a big drawing with a lot of negative space that's really easy to carve away, but I just don't draw like that. I tried another one. What was it? Oh, this is like not a great illustration, but this is an illustration I did of my cat under a rug. I didn't finish it, but I was like, ooh, that would be a cute print. Such tiny detail, and I'm really not at that level of tiny detail. I'm beginner. So I'm trying to like do it in a way that'll make it easier to carve, but it was so fun carving. I really got sucked into it. I carved this for like 2 hours, maybe, or maybe just an hour. You can see the background is kind of a mess because I was like trying all the different tools that speedball handle comes with. But I showed it to my boyfriend who is a printmaker and he said the carving looked good. I do that. I also really want to work on my sweater. I also have a puzzle I'm working on. Could do some mending. Also, I've been watching Criminal Minds a lot recently. It's like the show that I watch while I do crafts. I'm on season 3 right now, I think. And I definitely watched it when it was on TV, like in the early mid-2000s. But I don't remember a lot of it. I remembered that Mandy Patinkin was on it, and I was so sad. Maybe I shouldn't spoil the show. I'm really into it. And, but like when you binge watch a show like that, you really notice how repetitive things are. But it's okay. It's not as bad as watching Gossip Girl. When I binge watched Gossip Girl on Netflix, after having watched it on TV like week by week, I really noticed that like every single episode had the exact same structure. It was like conflict. They go to a party. Something happens. The episode ends. But I also love Gossip Girl, so that's okay. So I ended up giving up on that carving of the hat, and I made another carving of Lars instead. It is a drawing that was in my sketchbook where you could just see like part of his face because I took the picture of him from like over the couch. And I just used an ink pad to stamp it. Then I tried again down here. So that was pretty fun. I think I did this in like an hour. At least the carving took me like an hour. I am using my boyfriend's tools now. I was using the speedball thing and my boyfriend let me use his tools, which are much more legit. I went to Blick and also a yarn store today and I bought a couple things. I bought more linoleum from Blick. I got slightly larger pieces this time. I also got a roller to roll the ink onto the carving. Last thing I got there was some block printing ink. This is water soluble and it was just the brand, the Blick brand. It was the cheapest one. I just got this so I could like test out my prints and see if they work. So that was from Blick, and then I went to the yarn store with the intention of finding mending yarn or mending thread because in my last video I mentioned I only had that embroidery floss, which I assume is polyester, but it's actually mercerized cotton and that's why it's so shiny, but I still don't like it. So I was lucky and they did have a great selection. They had 2 different brands, both names I'm forgetting. I ended up going with the cheaper one. It was like $1.75 each for these little spools. And I think they were about 43 yards. So I got a whole bunch. Just so I had some color variety. I got all of these. And I'm going to hopefully mend a couple of my sweaters, my boyfriend's socks, and a couple pairs of my socks too. So I'm so excited to try these. I also got some dissolvable stitching guides for visible mending there too. And I got these with the intention of fixing my boyfriend's pants because he has this pair of Carhartt pants that are double knee and he's blown through both layers of the double knee. So I thought I could use this to make like a cool patch. These are the different designs that it comes with. And then you just wash them away. I tried to just do it freehand once and it was really hard. And I also got some yarn. I was just gonna get the mending thread and then I walked past the Ariado display and I saw this color and I'm really into this color right now. The Ariado from Plymouth is like one of my favorite yarns to work with. I was like, maybe I should make another scarf with that because I've been wearing this scarf that I made a lot. This is actually a Sophie hood, but I wear it all the time, and it's nice and cozy and warm. So I got this green, and then I got this purple to go together, maybe for a stripe. I don't know yet though. The last fun thing I did not get from a store, I got it from my friend. She makes these mending stitch guides. She makes the zine, and then she puts like a couple little fabric scraps, some sashiko needles, and some mending thread. I believe the one in here is cotton. So I bought one of these from her yesterday. I really wanted one, mostly for the zine that she made with instructions, but I also love this cat fabric that she put in the kit. And she was selling these for $20 each, which I thought was a great deal. So now I just have to figure out what I want to do for the rest of the day. I've also made a lot of progress on my winter's pullover. I have it right here. So I connected the front and the back a few days ago. And I only knit about 2 inches in the round, and then I tried it on and it is quite long already. It was like, I was probably wearing high-rise pants, but it was definitely going all the way down to my waistband. So I'm gonna reference the Baba sweater for the body length that I want, and I decided to stop knitting the body and switch over to the armhole, because I feel like sometimes the armholes look really big and then you knit them and it kind of pulls everything up. So I think I'm gonna do the sleeves and the neck, and then probably go back to the body at the end just to make sure it ends up being the length that I want. So I've knit a bit of the sleeve. I'm decreasing a little bit. I was following the decreases in the pattern, but I think I might space them out a little bit more because I don't want it to be a huge sleeve, but I also don't want it to be too narrow. And it's already getting a little bit, or much more narrow than what it was when I started. But I'll probably also try it on soon to see how it's going. So I ended up making 2 stamps yesterday. I made this little one of my cat Egbert, and I made this larger one, which I haven't stamped properly yet, also of Egbert. It says meow, and it's kind of like a downward angle of him because he goes into the kitchen when we're doing things and he goes meow. But I haven't like used any actual ink to stamp that one yet. I was just trying to like make it work with my stamp pad, and obviously it wasn't working. You can see it there because it doesn't really fit on the stamp pad. But I will eventually get out some ink and try to print it properly. Okay, but other big news. I got my tackle box in the mail today. It came in the biggest box. It was very well packed, but I was surprised. And if you hear box noises, it's because the cats are probably playing in the box. It was a very large box, and it was like full of paper and stuff. Perfect place for a cat to play. This is the box. It's big and metal and old. But I think it's gonna hold a lot. See? Okay, it's definitely a rickety old box, but I only paid $30 total for it, which is so nice because the box was huge. So like literally half the cost of it was just to ship it, but that's not even that bad. $15 for this rusty old box. So I'm gonna put it on the table and film myself loading it up with all my stuff. All the stuff that I usually keep on my coffee table, like knitting stuff, stationery stuff, now printmaking tools. I'm hoping I can kind of organize it nicely inside this box so it won't just be like everywhere anymore.
Compulsive, the crimes are on an annual cycle.
Computer printouts on the board, they were all printed on the same day, 2 weeks ago.
That's when you rented this building. I proceeded to move everything into it. It's a history of his crimes.
So he did all of this in 2 weeks.
He got away with it